And the winner is Hovertravel. A big congratulations to them, and let's take a look.
Our first patient was carried in April. It proved an instant success. I'm Steve Attrell. I'm a hovercraft pilot here at Wight on the Isle of Wight. Now, Hovertravel's been operating across the Solent to Portsmouth for 55 years now. Behind us is our latest generation of hovercraft built by our sister company Griffin Hoverwork at Southampton. It's capable of carrying 78 passengers on flights of 1.5 metres above the sea at speeds of up to 45 knots. And that completes the crossing here to Portsmouth in under 10 minutes. In a typical year, we'd expect to carry 750,000 passengers on the route between Wight and Portsmouth. 2020 started as a normal year, and then in March, COVID hit, and overnight our passenger numbers dropped by 90%. With the drop-off in passenger numbers experienced by all ferry operators to the Isle of Wight, the only way we could really manage the numbers was to reduce the frequency of operations, and that then brought new problems. Passengers typically would have an opportunity of a crossing every 30 minutes, and with COVID, needed to wait for up to 2 hours. The Isle of Wight community is reliant on the mainland hospitals for its emergency care, critical care, and therefore the reduction to a 2-hourly frequency of departure really did impact the level of critical care that could be offered them. Because of these issues, the Isle of Wight Local Resilience Forum identified the need to continue to transfer critically ill patients to mainland hospitals. Hovertravel was identified as being the fastest and most efficient way to transfer patients off island. Having identified the opportunities, we then had to make it happen. And that brought with it a number of challenges. The first hurdle was achieving an engineering solution to allow us to secure a patient on a stretcher in the cabin of the craft. We achieved this by using the ramp that the hovercraft is fitted with, which was fortunately just wide enough for a stretcher to fit. Inside the craft, our engineers had designed a new securing mechanism for the stretcher. This mechanism was then subject to regulatory approval to ensure that the patient could be transferred safely. To gain approval required our engineering solution to be approved, our emergency drills to be approved, and our staff training to be approved. To bring this to fruition required a collaboration between ourselves and the NHS. That's the NHS on the Isle of Wight, the ambulance service on the Isle of Wight, and the ambulance services on the mainland. We achieved all this from concept to delivery in just 2 weeks. In April, we carried our first patients, and it very quickly became an instant success. The patients were reached in the mainland hospitals far quicker than we first expected. Secondly, the paramedics and the ambulance crew were returned to the island within 30 minutes, which is a huge saving for them. Had the ambulance crews used the ferries, they would potentially have been away for 6 to 8 hours. This is something that was born out of COVID, but it's probably here now for the long run. It gives all the staff here great pride that we're actually helping save people's lives and giving them better life expectancies through access to critical care that's not available on the island. And it's unusual in life to have a win-win-win, but in this situation, the patients are getting a better service, the ambulance crews are able to return to the front line, delivering efficiencies there, and it's obviously good for the hovercraft industry and our company. We're delighted to be recognised, it's fantastic.